He is the special guest, or I should say the chief guest of our national conference. He is none other than the Padma Bhushan, Dr. Rajendra Singh Paroda, a former Director General of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, the Secretary of Department of Agricultural Research and Education, Government of India, and Chairman of the Trust for Advancement of Agriculture. He has made valuable contributions in the field of agriculture, both as a researcher and as an able administrator. His contribution in the field of plant breeding and genetic resource management are globally recognized. The prestigious National Agriculture Technology Project, which was to reorient the agricultural research, the education, and extension system of India, was designed and negotiated with the World Bank for 250 million US dollars in 1998 under his dynamic leadership, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Paroda has received several national and international awards and recognitions, including the most prestigious Padma Bhushan Award, which was presented by the President of India in the year 1998. So, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Paroda ji.
Thank you for your very generous introduction. Today is a historical day as far as cotton research and development is concerned. And I am very pleased that I am here. First, let me say Dr. M. Ramaswamy and Dr. Kondania for having invited me to be here and to see what is happening on the ground over the last 50 years of your dedicated work. We today have with us on the dais other colleagues, Dr. Geeta Lakshmi. You saw her enthusiasm, the kind of effort and commitment for public-private partnership that she expressed. I would like to congratulate her also to be the first Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, being a lady. Dr. Kathy Rayson, Ajay Rana has left as the chairman of FSII. Dr. Ramaswamy had been the founder chairman of FSII. So that's another important message that we have. Dr. D.K. Yadav, our again very energetic and very proactive for promoting seed sector in ICR. Dr. Kondania ji, Dr. Y.G. Prasad, Dr. Mr. Rajendran Ramaswamy, the managing director. Again, I found him to be very committed and energetic young managing director of. So the future generation is taking over, which is quite satisfying. Dr. Subramaniam, Dr. Joginder Singh, Dr. Rajvi Rathi, many other colleagues, dear cotton scientists, ladies and gentlemen. Celebrating 50th year, the Golden Jubilee is not a small event in any organization, and let us all today congratulate Dr. M. Ramaswamy for having achieved what he has done over the last 50 years. We must take lessons from what has gone into the success of this person who is a real son of India, I can say, a very humble person, most committed. So you can say he is not only the dedicated person, but also his devotion is unmatchable, and also diligence reflects that you need to have hard work, commitment to accomplish your dreams. And I'm sure he must have dreamt when he decided to leave government job, which is also not that easy and linked with the risk. And many people don't take risk, and those who take risk, their success is always there. We must really consider today a very important day for the uh, cotton development in this country. Not only what we have done at the national level, but also what has been accomplished through private sector. And in that respect, contributions of those who are in the private sector, Dr. Ramasamy himself had mentioned, must be recognized. And if it is not private sector's contribution, possibly the results of our research would not have reached the end users. And I would say that the Green Revolution also we celebrated, and that was when we had food insecurity. To go to a level of self-sufficiency and even to a level of export. It can be compared with cotton also, where in cotton we have achieved the fiber revolution, which somehow we have not celebrated to the level we celebrated green revolution. And maybe today is the day we call it a celebration of fiber revolution, because that also, when we had need for cotton and we were importing, we became self-sufficient and started even exporting to the level of even 4 billion US dollars, and became number one, having left China, who had been always the number one cotton producer, just by, again, a technology which we adopted. And having been associated myself, recognizing very clearly the need for the advancement which is critical, we promoted BT cotton, and much has been said, so time is short. I would not go into the details of those. But we worked to see that we have proper regulatory mechanism in place to release BT cotton by 2002. I was at that time not with ICR, but we had laid the foundations for testing process and for public-private partnership, and also private partnership through promotion of BT cotton in India. And if BT cotton had not been there, probably we didn't have any case for GM crops to convince our policymakers. And I'm glad that now, after a ban of 1 decade, this has been overcome, and at least government has realized that we do have to go in for GM technology, and if we do not move in that direction, probably our future challenges would not be possible to be met successfully. And what we have in the process also done, we brought out new seed policy during that time, and also we brought out Plant Variety Protection Act in that time. We had been working hard to see that Seed Act also is revised. The new Seed Act document is for consideration for more than 2 decades on the floor of Parliament. I hope this gets approved sometime. We also have seen to it that one technology can make all the difference. And this technology has helped millions of smallholder farmers. Cotton is grown in almost 70% area, which is rain-fed, and most of the smallholder farmers are benefited. When there was a crisis for food, we got green revolution. And when there was a crisis for the farmers of the country, growing cotton as a cash crop, which we used to call, and we still consider it important for the generation of income or for doubling of income. And when there were maximum suicides happening, that was the time when we felt that this is the technology which is going to help. And they say that test of pudding lies in eating. If we had not gone ahead with the release of BT cotton, and I must also at this time appreciate the collaboration I had with Manju Sharma as a as the Secretary of Biotechnology Department. Possibly this BT cotton scenario would have not to this level, where now not only we became global leader by about 2012-13, we had achieved 40 million bales of production, which seem to have now come down in the last one decade, which is a challenge which has also to be seen. And it seems that there are still hurdles for release of new events that are available, like BT, HT, which is being considered and is possibly at the final stage of release. And also the challenge that we have is that our productivity is low. It is half than the global average. China has half the area than us. Fortunately, our area has increased almost more than 50% area has increased under cotton after BT cotton came in. And we have reduced the what we call is environmental footprint by reducing use of pesticide by almost 35%. And we don't now hear so much about those deaths, suicides by farmers, which used to be a common story at one time. And that time, the what you call as anti-GM lobby had gone on the streets and argued that BT cotton is not good for the country. And also in the process, since it was what we call is Green Revolution was also innovation-led, BT cotton technology also was innovation-led. And often we are saying that we don't only now have to work for science, but agriculture research and innovation for development. And among the innovations, if we talk, perhaps BT cotton is the disruptive innovation which has been adopted by the poorest of the poor farmer without raising any concern for the price of the cotton that he pays. But then there had been issues relating to control of price by the government for the first time for a crop like cotton is unimaginable. Probably policymakers have not been given right approach and advice. Now this is being considered as an issue. We also have to see that we remain world leader. We started exporting. Now we have become again number 2 after China. and productivity has to be increased. So we have to go in for paradigm shift from unipillar approach of not only using the good quality seed of these hybrids, but also to go in for natural resource management as a second pillar, so that we not only save on the inputs, but also go in for resilience in agriculture for greater sustainability. And in that scenario, when we are talking about pioneering of cotton research, research is very important, and for research, we have to be, as was said, globally wise but act locally. And what I have seen at Rasi Seeds, and what also had been done by other similarly important private sectors like MICO and others, I see that we have to have much more collaboration. I congratulate for the kind of MOUs which have been signed. They are already indicator of the fact that partnership is critical. You cannot go and provide the benefits of the technology unless we have this kind of relationship. And time is also ripe because when BT Cotton we tried to bring in, I wanted this to come through collaboration with the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and we negotiated with Monsanto for almost 2 years. And we realized that possibly that was not the right time because questions were being asked, why you want this kind of partnership, what is the vested interest, and so on, without visualizing that what likely benefits are going to be there. And that time Monsanto has also agreed that they would allow not only the technology to be used for other crops in which they are not interested, like pulses, and they would also train our scientists. We then dropped the idea of this kind of partnership and encouraged that time Badrinarayan Barwale and Raju Barwale to negotiate with Monsanto and proceed further. The point is that for everything there is a time and a right time. Maybe that time was not right for us to move ahead, but you do need to have this kind of partnership. If today we have options of genome editing, then if you don't have the partnership or MOU with organizations who have come forward with the technology, such as now that is with Corteva, possibly our research results would not be reaching the farmer level. So we must think now ahead. We should use this as an opportunity today to not only celebrate what has been achieved through the efforts of committed persons like Dr. Ramaswamy. It is an eye-opening, no doubt, for every one of us. And we must say that we are happy that he invited all of us to just not come and congratulate him, but see what can be done. And the kind of pre-breeding work I saw, we have been talking, the International Congress on Agrobiodiversity was held in 2016, which our Prime Minister inaugurated. we came out with the Delhi Declaration, and it has been highlighted that if you have to make advances in future to bring in uh, stress tolerance, whether biotic or abiotic, you have to depend more on use of the germplasm and especially the wild and weedy species. And we have seen the pre-breeding work here through use of many of the wild species and also the germplasm. I think this is all not work for today, but it is work for tomorrow. This is laying foundation for our being in future the world leader. And I have no doubt with the kind of effort and the environment that is getting generated and the what Dr. Yadav also said, the support that and the institution of the CICR director you have heard, working hand in hand and trying to collaborate and appreciate each other. Otherwise, I had been all the time feeling that we consider private sector as untouchable. If you try to move in that direction, and that's why every time, every platform, we have tried to see that there are right policies. Even seed sector when got developed in India, I was that time Deputy Director General Crop Science, and we talked to the seed sector people that what is your requirement, and they said we don't have R&D with us. So whatever R&D is in public sector and you have hybrids, can you give us the seed of the hybrids? And then that time it was not being shared, so we brought out a policy approved by the government and said that all seed will be given free to any of the private sector who would like to come forward and produce the seeds so that they are available to the end user. That I think triggered the process, and today our seed sector is one of the robust one. Again, name was mentioned of Dr. Chopra, with whom I worked, and I also respect him. He is no more with us now. And you must have also realized how much respect Dr. Ramaswamy has for the scientists of the national system. They are all here. They are, they are being honored. They have been respected. So, for any partnership, what you require is institutional backstopping, mentoring by few persons. I think the name was mentioned of Dr. Krishnamurti. Without that, possibly he would have not been successful. So it's again that kind of partnership which is critical, and it is not that then you have only taken it for your own benefits, but you are still recognizing their contributions and you are working with them. Still, like Dr. Subramaniam is still I see here, or Dr. Jogen Singh has also come. This speaks volumes about a person. That he recognizes that he would have not come to this level when we are celebrating Golden Jubilee if these people and this kind of partnership had not been there. And he recognized them, he invited them on this and in his own. So this is again, your vision, your appreciation, your commitment, and we need to imbibe many of these qualities, and we are really grateful to him for whatever he has contributed. I have no doubt in my mind that we would continue being leader in cotton. The topic is pioneering. So possibly we will be discussing, so I don't want to go into the details of those in this session. But there are challenges, and there are challenges like second generation challenges of grain revolution which we are facing today. factor productivity decline, the stress due to biotic and abiotic pressures, and then also labor cost going up, the cost of inputs getting higher and higher. So we have to think now of mm, going in for those technologies which can save on costly inputs and can improve our agriculture through mechanization. Labor is not available, labor is a big problem. I don't know how Dr. Ramaswamy is able to gather 400 labor for 120 days for crossing in the pre-breeding blocks. And that work is not for today. You can imagine how much it costs, 1.2, 1.5 lakhs every day for 120 days. Who will spend it? Are we spending even in the national system, even now the government institutions? I think we must also recognize, and what for? He could easily also have the kind of partnership when something comes somewhere, okay, I will also be the partner for sharing the benefits. But here is the effort, and this partnership we require not at the end when a product has come out. This partnership should come, like I would request both Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, Dr. also Prasad, and Dr. Kethi Resan, that this partnership should start from the beginning. And universities should provide the enabling environment, like what we now say that create incubator or technology parks. You have technology parks in most of the state agricultural universities in the US, where private sector people will come with your scientists, they will visualize a project, they will decide what we are going to achieve, and ultimately if that is achieved, then it is jointly marketed and shared. So access and benefit sharing, it should, so we must really try to now look at what is the model for, or successful model for partnership, not that IRI when has come out with a product and a variety, it gives for 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs, and is that the partnership? The partnership should come, and why not our scientists should come and now work in the laboratory and institution and facilities which has been built either in MICO or over here, which I have seen. And the gene banks being also, there for germplasm. Now we have come out with the technology and also a standard material transfer agreement for the sharing of germplasm, and I am told that now germplasm is available, which I insisted on ICR, being chair of the advisory committee on the biodiversity, because all the 5 bureaus are there. The 4 bureaus were created after NBPGR. When I was director in NBPGR, then I thought it's not only the germplasm of crops, but we also have to have germplasm of livestock, the fish, the microorganisms, the insects. So created all those bureaus, and the kind of work they are doing is amazing. And therefore we have to strengthen the institutions. We have to have right human resource. Dr. Borlaug, when I asked him why you are not successful for Green Revolution in Africa, after 15 years of Green Revolution in India, you are the same person, the technology is the same. What is the problem? And then he said, from where do I get policy support like we have here in India? From where do I get institution like IRI that you have here? From where do I get human resource like Dr. Swaminathan, which you have produced? And from where do I get the farmers and the partnership with the private sector, which has now emerged here? And that these are the cradles of success which are critical. And therefore, time is ripe that we have to strengthen this partnership. We have to also have a forward-looking, the foresight. Again, a person like Dr. Ramaswamy is a person who has a foresight. It is not, business is one part of it, of course. Uh, if the business would have not been there, he would have not been able to uh, achieve all what we are seeing today, or invest to have more research. And this reflects that his commitment that without research there will be no success. And we need to therefore strengthen our research programs. Challenges are many, and we also have to appreciate that there has to be enabling environment. Uh, we have to immediately go ahead, and we had organized through the trust along with the FSII. I think you have the documents with you, that policy brief on, and even we catalyzed the policy makers, and with FSII, Dr. Kondania, Ramaswamy were there. We had meeting also with the member agriculture. I asked Ramesh Chand that let us have a meeting, and also Manoj Ahuja, and Dr. D.K. Yadav was also there. And we discussed the implementation of this. Now, why should we not have a mission on cotton to become world number one and continue having leadership at a global level? Second, why there should not be cotton development board when you have board on cashew and board on coconut? And uh, is it not a cash crop? Is it not a farmer's crop? And uh, why, in fact, we should not try to release these new events? It is immaterial whether it is from our indigenous research or from abroad. The results would reflect that they are in the interest of the nation. And why we do not now try to do research by increasing the productivity, and the sky is the limit, the density planting of cotton. I think our Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioned about the transplanting of cotton. And in fact, transplanting of cotton is success. You go and see in Vietnam what they do in that context. But it is no doubt effort oriented, and our population is not enough. Our population is less. You can go in for mechanization, you can go in for defoliation, you go and see the work in Texas and US. You go in for these kinds of new plant types, and the plant type could be increased to even up to 1 lakh per hectare, as against I think 15,000 or 20,000 something presently. So we have to think in a different way. It is not that business as usual will help. So we will have to bring in change for good. Change is must, but change is difficult. And that commitment, if we have by this kind of meeting, and all cotton scientists and maybe some farmers and development people are in this audience, let's say that tomorrow we would be moving into a different direction to achieve and remain global leader. And maybe I would urge ICR and also to the private sector and FSRI, why not we have a global conference on cotton research for development in India organized? There is a cotton development conferences being organized, but why not we plan to have something of this kind organized and have a showcase, and a lot of achievements are there by various sectors. And finally, it is a matter of pride to hear and understand that probably Rasi Seed is the largest BT cotton seed producer in the country today. So congratulations to you, Dr. Ramaswamy. This and to all your team, entire team, and all dedicated people here. So I won't take long now, and would like to just at this stage from my own side, and I would request also DK Yadav to come forward and just honor him from our side. It's a small token, but it is with great admiration and respect to a person who has done so much. We must write a success story of him. I think I will start this from task now, because people will get inspired tomorrow what has been, and generally we forget what people do once they are not there. So while he is with us still, and I wish him good health and long life to continue providing this leadership in India.